What's going on, guys? Sky here from Techlifetoday, and we have a brand new thing or brand new topic here on the channel, and we're very proud to announce it, and that is the podcast. And here we have the very first podcast. We're very happy about this. We're excited to get into it. We're excited to do a lot of these in the future, and a lot of these are going to be about 25 to 30 minutes long. Some might be longer at times. But yeah, it's awesome to see everyone here. Thank you to everyone that will be watching Tuesday's video, because it's going up on Tuesday. Unfortunately, at this given time, we are not doing live streams of this, or live streams of our podcast, but we are doing this recorded. Maybe in the near future, we'll do it a little different. But, so yeah, in this week's edition of the Techlifetoday Weekly, we will be talking about Samsung and launching the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 this summer to beat the iPhone, or the next iPhone, which is the iPhone 6s. We'll be talking about the iPhone 6s as well as the iPhone 6s Plus, Apple Music, and iOS 9's public beta. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with Samsung by launching the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 this summer to compete with the iPhone. So basically, to make it simple, for all the people that are saying that Samsung might come out with a smartphone this summer, like the Samsung Galaxy S6 Plus or the Note 5, you are very likely to be completely true in that, alright? Now, while it was originally rumored to come in this fall, like around the October time frame, they're going to rumoredly release it early, more so like in the August time frame, because it wants to compete with the iPhone 6s sales, which I think is a good marketing strategy. But unfortunately, when they released the Samsung Galaxy S6 and as well as the S6 Edge, which I gotta say I'm a very big fan of, unfortunately they didn't do very well in the sales. And while they still did better than the S5, they didn't in any way compete with the iPhone 6, alright, or the 6 Plus. By doing this, they might have a chance because it's coming out before the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. But frankly, if you didn't know this, the iPhone 6s or iPhone 6 Plus is basically, at this given time, the #1 phablet, or if you call it that. The #1 phablet in the United States and some other countries. So Samsung, while has some fantastic hardware at this given stage with the glass as well as the metal, as well as with the S Pen and all that stuff, I think while that might be good for Samsung to do, I don't think it's going to do very well to compete with the iPhone 6s sales or 6s Plus sales. Again, let me know what you guys think. But the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 is rumored to have a 5.7-inch Super AMOLED display with a 2560 by 1440 resolution, Quad HD, and a 64-bit octa-core Exynos processor. Like the Samsung Galaxy S6's glass and aluminum redesign, the Note 5 will reportedly have a glass back, which also means it's not going to have, or is rumored not to have, the micro SD card slot as well as a removable battery, which I know a lot of people like. And unfortunately, if Samsung winds up doing this, the only phone, or one of the only flagships in the market that have a removable battery as well as an SD card slot up to, I believe, 2 terabytes, is the LG G4, and I can see that changing over the next year. But the Note 5 is reportedly coming in black, silver, and white. Another new change is that it may not have a micro SD card slot for storage expansion. Meanwhile, which is another thing I want to talk about, because I'm personally a big fan of this, and I've talked to a lot of people. I have a lot of Note fans, which is kind of funny. I have a lot of people that are very excited about the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. Yes, that's a mouthful, but this is the rumored name. It just got passed through like this I believe the FTC. But frankly, I'm excited for this phone. This might be the phone, like in October is when the contract is done for me. and I'm thinking about this being my next phone. Meanwhile, the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus is rumored to also have a 5.7-inch Quad HD display with 2 curved edges like the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 processor, 32 gigs of internal storage, a 16 megapixel back camera, and a 3000 mAh battery, which I think is very impressive for the smartphone. I think it's a good idea for Samsung to do this. I think it's going to be awesome. I think this is going to be the phone that actually sells better than the Note 4, or Note 5, excuse me. Only because, frankly, I've never been a Samsung fan until recently, or this year, because of the redesign. And I've always been very big on hardware, not so much. I mean, I'm in software as well, but my main focus point is hardware. So that's why I own an iPhone at this given stage. The aluminum, the glass, it's very seamless together. Apple works very hard on that. I think at this point Samsung's doing a good job as well with what they're doing currently at this stage with the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge as well as the S6, normal S6. So I do think the Edge Plus will be a great device. I'm very excited to see that. If it does wind up actually occurring, we're definitely going to have some coverage on that. Don't worry about that. We'll also have coverage on the Note 5. Stay tuned for those when it comes out. But frankly, that might be my next phone, the Edge Plus. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, that's one thing. The next topic we're going to be talking about today, and again, this is a very personal thing. Like we're not trying to speak all this, like we're not trying to speak so technical in this like we normally do in our videos. We add some personality in our videos. We have personality in our videos, but the podcast is meant basically to just talk to you guys and to give you guys a sense of how we are, to tell you about our plans, our the gaming, technology, politics, different stuff like that. And frankly, this is a lot of fun. Next week, I believe Giovanni will be the one that films, or will be the person that does a podcast. So I'll be doing a podcast every first and third Friday, or every first and third week of the month, which is every first and third Tuesday of each month. And Giovanni will be doing the podcast every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. So stay tuned for that. So we're going to be having more than one person in the podcast. So yeah, I'm here right now only because it's the very first one, so why not, you know? But starting next week as well as the week after, Giovanni will be the one that is filming, or is the one that does the podcast. But starting in August, the very first week of August, that's when the normal schedule occurs. And it's insane to think that we're already almost halfway into the year, or almost halfway into the month. I remember July 4th already, but it's already like July 10th, and that's insane. At least the time we're filming this, and I believe the time when the video goes up is on Tuesday, which will be the 14th. So yeah, it's insane that we're already halfway through the month. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about today is the iPhone 6s. All right, now the iPhone 6s is rumored to have, the Qualcomm chip, which is brand new in the leaks right now, for faster LTE speeds. All right, so while the company normally goes for their own chips, and they're going to continue doing that for the A9 processor as well as the M9 Motion Core processor, they are also going to be partnering with Qualcomm to a certain extent with the LTE chip. Another thing that's rumored to come with I can just tell you the whole specs real quick. The iPhone 6s is rumored to have a 4.7-inch screen, a 1080p screen, which is brand new. I don't know if that's really going to happen. I expect it to be more of an iPhone 7 and 7 Plus thing, but I think it's going to be a 720p screen still, but that's my personal opinion. It's obviously going to have a Retina display. It's going to be It's rumored to be 7.1 millimeters thick. Alright, so it's going to be 0.2 millimeters thicker than the the iPhone 6. Because, and the main reason to why this is the case with the iPhone 6s as well as 6s Plus being a little thicker is actually because of the Force Touch screen. Alright, so the Force Touch screen is basically, if you haven't heard of it, it's on the Apple Watch as well as the new MacBook, and it looks like it's going to be carrying its way onto the next iteration of the iPhone, which is the 6s and 6s Plus. But the Force Touch is basically it's kind of hard to explain because I've never actually done this. I've never felt this in person. Giovanni has, and you can see his videos coming soon on the Apple Watch. But basically, you hold the screen and it comes with different options, right? And you feel a vibrating motor, but it's not a vibrating motor. It's a haptic engine. It's really cool. I gotta say, I'm very excited to start testing it out in the near future. Again, Giovanni has, I haven't. He says it's really cool. So yeah, I'm excited to check that out. It's rumored to have a 12 megapixel rear camera. It's not going to have a dual camera. I just want to tell you right now, it's not going to do the HTC 1MA effect where they had the two cameras. At least in this iteration, they're not going to do that with the 6S as well as 6S Plus. They're just stay with the 12 megapixel camera. On the front facing, which is going to have a jump for the very first time in a long time, because it's going to stage the iPhone 6 has a 1.2 megapixel sensor, as well as 6S Plus, or 6 Plus, excuse me. Oh my gosh. But the 6S as well as 6S Plus are rumored to have a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, basically to compete a little bit with Samsung's ads with the front-facing camera and how you can get an ultra-wide sense of it. But that's one thing. Again, it's going to be a little faster. It's going to come with 2 gigs of RAM. It's going to be shipping with iOS 9, which I actually have my iPhone right now, which if you want to test that out, I'll have a link in the description, possibly, if I remember to do that. I'll have a link in the description. It's beta.apple.com. I don't know if they're still allowing that, but they might, so I don't really know yet, so it should be. But yeah, the 6S Plus as well as the 6S is pretty cool. I'm very excited about those products as well. We're going to obviously have videos on those products as well, so stay tuned for that. But the 6S as well as 6S Plus are going to come in a new color option. They're going to come in 4 different colors. Hear this: space gray, silver, gold, and the bling bling, the rose gold. Alright, so if you don't remember, the rose gold for the Apple Watch, which I will look real quick towards how much it is while we speak, but it's expensive. I can just tell you that now. The rose gold Apple Watch is very expensive. So imagine that as an iPhone. Alright, Apple apparently thinks that it's worth it, I guess, and yeah, it's very expensive. It's at least $12,000. I can tell you that much right now. It's not a cheap device, I can tell you that. But I don't know why Apple's doing this, because there haven't been very many sales of the Apple Watch Edition or the Rose Gold version. Frankly, I don't know why they did this. They might call it the iPhone 6s Plus Edition or iPhone 6s Plus or S6 or 6s Edition. Oh my gosh, you know, that's kind of funny. The S6 as well as the 6s. That's kind of funny how it works. Two different, completely different. They're basically vice versa with the names. It's pretty funny. But let me just see how much it costs real quick. It's at least gonna be like $12,000. I can tell you that much right now. It's not gonna be a cheap device. And that's just for the Apple Watch. I mean, I can't even imagine how much it's gonna cost for the iPhone 6s as well as the iPhone 6s Plus. I find that kind of shocking that Apple would do that, do a thing like that. Realistically speaking, I don't know anyone that got a rose gold Apple Watch. I can just tell you that real quick. And I highly doubt anyone's gonna get the rose gold iPhone. I mean, yeah, there are companies that do that, and there's a few people that will go for the rose gold option. But real speaking, how many will actually do it? I mean, speak a little logic right there. Speak logically right there. How many people logically would go for it? Let's see. The iPhone 6. Alright. It looks like it might be about at least $10,000. At least $10,000. And think of it. There's gonna be more gold in there, so it's gonna be a little more money. It's gonna be more money in the long run. So it might be more like $20,000 for an iPhone 6s edition. That's going to be outdated in a year. So, frankly, I don't know why people would go for it in general. I mean, there's no reason to go for this stuff. It's not worth it. It's a lot of money. Frankly, it is a lot of money. And I have nothing to say about that. If you bought the device, if you bought the phone, or the watch, excuse me, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Tell me that you actually got it. I'd be shocked if anyone in the comments actually purchased the Apple Watch edition. I'd be amazed. And one thing I really want to talk about, and that's about it. The iPhone 6s will come in, as well as 6s Plus will come in 16, 64, and 128 gig variations. The iPhone 6s will be $199, $299, and $399, not including the rose gold option. I have no clue what that will cost. Then the iPhone 6s Plus will cost $299, $399, and $499. Now the 6 is rumored to come once it gets. It's obviously going to get downgraded in the price. That is rumored to come in $99, $199, and I'm guessing $299. That's my guess. And then the iPhone 6s Plus will be, I'm assuming, probably like $199, $299, and $399. That's my only thing I could assume. I'm not saying that's gonna be what happens, but it may. Alright, so next thing I really want to talk about real quick is iOS 9. So I've had it on my device for the past day now, and oh my gosh, at the very beginning it was horrible. I could not get this thing to download. It took about 4.5, 5 hours for the software update to actually download. I had so many problems with it. The servers were down multiple times on the beta.apple.com website. It was terrible. Now that I've gotten to use it for the past day, and now that I've gotten to start enjoying it and start actually using it, I gotta say I'm very impressed. I know this might be kind of weird, and yes, I'm having bugs and I'm having issues with iOS 9 at this given stage. So unless you don't want bugs with your device, or unless you want to be a beta be part of the beta program, and you expect to see the bugs and you want to help Apple fix these issues, I would not recommend getting the public beta because there are some issues. It does respring a lot, I will give you that, or I will say that. It does glitch out, I will say that. But other than that, to be honest with you, I have had absolutely no other problems. Alright, now, I mean, the glitching and the shutting down, it only happened about 2 or 3 times each. Not a big deal. It hasn't happened yet today, but yesterday it did occur. I did shut down my phone, shut it back on, and it worked perfectly fine at that point. As of today, I've had 0 issues with it. It's very fluid, very fast. One thing I found a little strange is that when I go in the multitasking session, which I love actually, I don't know, a lot of people don't like it, but I love the new style. And when I try to leave an app, or when I open the Apple, I'm just giving you an example real quick, like the Apple Store application, and then I close out of the app, then it'll open back up. It's so strange. Like let's say I opened the Apple Store, or let's say I went to my multitasking section, right? And I have Instagram on there. I tap Instagram, and then I want to go back to multitasking. Double click again, and it's going to bring you back to Instagram no matter what. I don't know why it's having that issue. After about 4 times, it'll stop doing that, but it is kind of weird, and it's kind of annoying at times to deal with. But it's okay. It's not bad, but it's not great. Another thing I found kind of strange is in the proactive assistant. While I love this feature, the search section, the search tab, is overlaying the notification bar. So I can't really tap on the search icon, which is pretty difficult actually to do by itself. One thing I wanted to see is that in the Spotlight search, which I wanted this to be more of a Google Now approach. Like as you may know, in the proactive assistant on the far left of your screen, unless you own a 4S or an older device, there's a microphone, and I would expect it to say, or I wanted to say, how's the weather? It gives you results online of how the weather is in like a different country, for example. I wish, frankly, if you said, for example, if you clicked on the microphone icon and it said, how's the weather? It would come up with a card showing you how the weather is. Like, for example, when you do Siri, it'll show you. So, how's the weather? For example, just for a little example.
Here's the forecast between today and July 19th.
So there you go. I mean, it gives you a card style, and you guys know this. You've probably used Siri before, and it works well, but I wish it would do a little bit more. A little small thing, I absolutely love the wallpaper. I thought at first it was crazy looking, but I'm actually a big fan of the wallpaper now. I definitely recommend checking it out. If I remember, if I can do this, maybe I can leave a link to the wallpaper. Again, I might not remember any of this, so I apologize for that if I don't. But yeah, I'm a big fan of iOS 9. I gotta admit, I am a big fan of this. So, frankly, I like the idea. I like this a lot. So, I'm a big fan. So, frankly, at this point, I'm a big fan of iOS 9. I love it. I think it's a definite upgrade. I definitely recommend updating your software when it comes out officially from iOS 8 to iOS 9. I would definitely recommend doing it. I mean, while it's having a few bugs, it's not terrible. I'll give it that. It is not terrible right now. It has the occasional issue, but it's not a make or break situation. So if you want to install the public beta, go to beta.apple.com. If you don't, just wait until the fall, which is generally be around September, October timeframe, when the next iPhone comes out, and then you'll be able to download it then. But yeah, we have about, I don't know, another 9 minutes left, I would assume, maybe 9 to 15 minutes. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I love how fluid it is. I love how fluid the software is throughout the system. So overall, I'm a very big fan. So, frankly, it's nice. I'm a big fan of it. And yeah, that's about it. And another thing I really want to talk about is Apple Music. And you guys know this. Our review just went live on Friday, and frankly, I'm not a huge fan. And to be honest with you, while Apple Music is great in certain areas, like the Connect feature, I think while is cool, it's not groundbreaking, and I think it's more of a gimmick than anything. It's like Apple's Ping service a few years ago or a long time ago. This is basically their version of bringing it back with the artists. Frankly, I just recommend turning it off. I mean, real speaking, I don't see a purpose for it. Searching for songs. Really, I mean, I can search for a song. Obviously, it's not a problem, and it works well. I'll give it that. But frankly, Apple makes such a big deal about this. I mean, frankly, I use Spotify. I've always used Spotify. I'm a big fan of Spotify. And I'm going to continue using Spotify. I'm not going to use Apple Music. And that's because, frankly, I like the software a little better. I like the, I think Spotify is a little more aesthetically pleasing. And Apple Music is pretty much all over the place. It's crazy. Yeah, while there's Taylor Swift on Apple Music, I can care less. And I said that in my review. I can care less about Taylor Swift being on Apple Music. Yeah, I don't get it on Spotify, but I can care less. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. I can care less. I really don't care. I mean, Apple Music, it's okay. It's not groundbreaking by any means. Beats One, frankly, not a huge fan. I'll be honest with you, I am not a big fan of Apple Beats Music. Or Beats One, excuse me. I'm still used to Beats Music. But I am not a fan of Beats One. I really am not. I'll be honest with you on that. I'm not a fan of Beats One. I have not listened to a song yet that I know. That will give you a little idea of how this is. Frankly, I'm not a fan. So, again, take it or leave it for the way it is. It is free. I'll say that. But there's not a song on there that I know. And by the way, I'm just saying the DJs mainly, I'll just give you this, or I'm just gonna let you know about this. The DJs on Apple Music mainly do rap, right? They do a lot of rapping in this stuff, or in these songs. They don't really do any songs that really know, which is kind of sad. I knew maybe one, maybe. Alright, that gives you a little idea of how it actually is, but frankly, well, okay, not groundbreaking by any means. I'm not going to use it. I know a lot of people aren't going to use it, but it's certainly okay. And of course, I dropped my phone. That is fantastic. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, guys. It must have sounded really loud on your end. Sorry about that. But, yeah, frankly, I'm not a huge fan of Apple Music. I wish it was a little better, but it's not. And the last thing to finalize this today, because we have about another 5 minutes left. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about today in our little podcast for this week is the Apple Watch. And I know I talked about it a few minutes ago. I want to talk about it again. And this is a little bit different story. Right now, Apple's not... Apparently, it's rumored that Apple is only selling about 10,000 units of the... Or 5 to 10,000 units of the Apple Watch per week. Or per day, excuse me. Now, that is a lot different from the 300,000 or something like that every day when it first got launched. And right now, Apple's having problems with the sales for the Apple Watch. And frankly, I can understand why, because it's very expensive. I own a Moto 360. I am in love with it. I love using it. It's a lot of fun. I have no problem with it. And I don't see why the Apple Watch would have been better. I can connect my Moto 360 to my iPhone. If you don't know how to do that, there's a video somewhere on my feed or on the YouTube channel showing you how to do that. I think it's one of the first videos on the YouTube channel since we got hacked. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Moto 360 Apple Watch, so I have not gotten to use it yet. I'm going to be using it in the next few weeks. I'm going to test I'm going to go to an Apple store and check it out, see how it is. Maybe if I remember, I'll do some coverage on it. But Apple Watch, realistically speaking, well, it's cool. Again, it's not groundbreaking. That's a big thing about Apple. They are basically copying a lot of different companies and then putting sparkles all over it. Basically, that's what they're doing to make it a little sweeter, if you will. Frankly, Apple Watch, I think it looks like more of a toy. At least my Moto 360 looks more like a piece of jewelry. The Apple Watch, however, it looks like a little toy, to be honest with you. Not a fan. And Apple Watch, and because of that, Apple's doing not that great in sales. While it's better than most companies for smartwatches related, like the Moto 360 hasn't, I highly doubt Moto 360 selling, or the Motorola is getting selling 10,000 units every day. I highly doubt that. Maybe they're selling 1,000. But frankly, Apple Watch, but you gotta remember that the Moto 360 has been out for a long time, much longer. It's been out for about, at this point, almost a year in September. So about 9 to 10 months. The Apple Watch has been out for like 3. So that makes sense. I can definitely see that unless Apple does something with its line with the Apple Watch, I could see the sales going farther and farther down. I can see it at one point, or at a given stage, at one day, I could see the Apple Watch going down to around 3,000 to 5,000 in sales every day. I could see that happening, maybe even 1,000. I don't really know. I don't know how many people are really in the market for an Apple Watch. Right now, Apple's in the lead for smartwatches. But frankly, at this point, I don't know what makes the big difference. I don't understand why it makes a huge difference. Maybe because it's Apple and people want everything that's Apple related. For some time I wanted the Apple Watch, decided not to go for it because it's too expensive. I got my Moto 360 for $149, so I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Moto 360, not so much the Apple Watch. I'm going to be testing it out in person soon, but I don't really know what to say about it. But yeah, guys, this is the very first Tech Life Today weekly podcast. This is pretty awesome. I'm very happy about this. I'm hoping this turns out okay. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What you guys think about this. Alright, let me know what you think about the podcast. Whether you like it or dislike it, let me know, because I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think. We have some great plans for the future. Stay tuned for all that. We're thinking about doing a politics section as well, a politics related podcast, probably just as long as this, on our politics channel. So we also have a politics as well as a gaming channel, and I might consider putting a link in the description, but frankly I am pretty terrible with that, so I don't know if I'm going to remember to do that or not. But maybe I'll try. Alright, I'll try to do that. If I don't remember, sorry. Alright. But frankly, thank you guys for watching. I mean, this is really cool. It's pretty awesome. We've already hit over 18,000 views on the YouTube channel. That is incredible. At the midway, at around April this year, we expected to hit maybe 10,000 views by the end of 2015. And we're already less than 2 months later. We're already at, or excuse me, 3 months later, we are already at 18,000 views. That is absolutely incredible. I'd like to thank you. We are currently at 18,762 views. So this is one of our biggest or highest months ever. So I'd like to thank you for that. This month we've received over 9,283 views. So we received half the views this month than we did this whole time. So that's pretty awesome. In the past 7 days, we've received 3,290 views. That is absolutely incredible. So if you times that, you'd get around 160,000 views every year. So we're definitely doing pretty good. Thank you guys so much. We're at around, I believe, 63 subscribers right now on the YouTube channel. So thank you for that. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this podcast, this weekly podcast. We're going to continue doing it every Tuesday. But yeah, that means we're going to have 2 videos up every Tuesday. We're going to have a normal tech video as well as a podcast. Sorry that, or maybe we'll do something a little different. Maybe instead of a tech video, we'll just do this. But that's about it, guys. Again, thank you so much. If you want to go follow us on Twitter, it's at techlifetodayco. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's at techlifetoday. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Peace.